everybody.
Hi, guys. Well, from gorgeous Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
the podcast.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up today, given that it is Pride Month.
It is Gay Pride Month.
Still June. As we speak, we're smack dab in the middle.
Where's
essentially.
Straight Pride Month?
Well, essentially, we're going to be getting to a little bit of that sentiment.
Yes, we are.
Interestingly
Someone
enough.
celebrated improperly
Yes.
Gay Pride Month.
Yes. And so we're going to get into that
Yeah.
a wee bit. But yeah, just kind of homophobia, I guess, if we're just going to tease a theme for the second half of the show.
Yeah.
And so we'll dig in on that.
And we will solve that problem
Yeah.
in the latter half of the show.
Absolutely.
Completely.
Absolutely. Well, Dan, to start off,
Yeah?
I'm a real proponent of mass transit,
Oh, yes.
especially things like light rail. I think that
I thought you were going to be making a joke, but no, you genuinely
I
do
genuinely
love
am.
mass transit.
Yeah, I think it's really important. It's
Yes.
a great way to help a city.
Our city
develop and build.
city doesn't do a great job with it, but they're trying. They're improving.
It's coming along, and you can see where there have been successes and
Right.
whatnot. In the suburbs, it's less successful,
Correct.
so forth and so on. But anyway, light rail in particular came up at a recent Phoenix City Hall.
They're
meeting.
in Arizona.
Yeah,
Is
Phoenix.
where we keep Phoenix.
Then they have like this one main light rail line.
Okay.
If I understand the system correctly, and they're planning a second kind of little spur line.
Sure.
And as these things tend to do, you get people who don't like these things happening.
Right.
Right.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
It's it's change.
People do
And
not
I
like
really
change.
do think, for the most part, most of this has to do with change.
Right.
Now, business owners always freak out. They don't want the road construction.
The
in front of
construction can be rough.
It can be rough, right?
Yeah.
But a certain citizen of Phoenix has had some real important things to say about former Congressman Ed Pastor.
Okay.
She got up. Her name is Celia Contreras, and she told city council members because I guess Pastor was like a major supporter of light rail.
Okay.
He did ton on the federal level for just
to get some funding. For it. Yeah.
Not just for Phoenix. Like, he was a proponent for it happening in Phoenix, but he was a proponent nationally.
Oh, cool.
Let's just get funding for this.
Okay.
We always support light rail. Right?
Okay.
And so Celia Contreras, she gets up and she told the council members that she was coming in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Okay. Good.
With a message.
Great start. Great start.
Stop the light rail, or essentially you will be punished as Ed Pastor was punished. He died back in November of a heart attack.
Oh,
and she's
dear.
saying that the Lord gave him this heart attack at age 75 because he supported light rail.
Wow.
And
The Lord does not like
light rail.
efficient transit.
No. He was given the heart attack because he was the architect of light rail, and she warned that others would be judged if they supported it. And then her little flyer that she was handing out actually had quotes from God.
Oh, God. We need to get our hands on that flyer. I'll bet it's one of those ones that has like incredible run-on sentences and
Probably.
just complete incoherence.
Yeah, but here's what God had to say about the light rail.
Yes, please.
I weigh their acts on a balance for those who have done wrong in advancing this project, and they shall receive their pay, for I am the Lord Almighty.
Okay. Does she cite any anti-light rail scripture?
No. This is revelation that was given directly
okay.
to her. She is a prophetess.
Yeah.
And a NIMBY.
Right. Yes,
Right.
exactly. That would be not in my backyard
Yes.
for all of you out there.
Apparently, though, Congressman Pastor's daughter is on the Phoenix City Council.
Oh shit! Oh, dick move.
Dick move.
That's a dick move. Rude.
And so let's see.
Not dick move for her to be on the city council. Dick move
for
the other
Celia
lady.
Contreras.
Yes.
To get up and say all this nonsense. Apparently, Laura Pastor just got up and left.
Okay.
Right. She says, I chose not to take the message, meaning the flyer, because I didn't feel that God was speaking to me. I felt at that moment that the devil was speaking to me.
Okay.
So
that's a really dumb thing to say.
I feel for you, lady.
I mean,
but that's
you were
taking it the wrong way.
You were treated badly, and that sucks.
Yeah.
That was a really stupid thing to say, though.
Yeah. Say, that you don't appreciate people coming in and making up shit
and then
about your father.
Yeah, exactly. And then talk about the importance of improved mental health care in your city. Because clearly that was needed. I
like people who oppose these things. Like, there is a way to oppose something that you don't like.
Sure.
There absolutely is.
And that way is to say that Jesus Christ has spoken directly to you.
Well, he is the higher authority in these things.
This is what I'm saying. Like, if you can speak in his voice, the world opens up to you.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I've heard from Pat Robertson over and over again, it's that if you speak with, if you call upon the name of the Lord, you can do anything.
Yeah, absolutely,
including stopping light rail transit. So
light rail. I know.
Let's hope that her message was heeded.
I know.
God uses imperfect vessels for his message.
Always, almost always.
Pretty much every goddamn time.
Yeah.
Every time. All right, I'm going to take us, speaking of municipal entities or whatever, I'm going to take us, we have spoken multiple times about the Chino Valley Unified School District in California. Mm-hmm. Which the way that the school board ran their meetings was basically akin to a Christian.
Oh yeah,
they would pray and they would give Bible verses and it was just constant.
Right.
So the Freedom from Religion Foundation stepped in, said please don't do that. They continued. FFRF, the FFRF, said, look, we're going to sue you. They sued. They won in lower court. The school district pursued it and appealed. They won. The FFRF won again on appeal. The school district was going to take it all the way to the thing. We talked about this, and then they didn't. And then some board members were elected and said, no, let's let this one die. I think we've learned our lesson. Let's let it die.
Right.
Well, so the caveat to this whole thing, the thing that was one of the things that the school district, the school board members kept saying was, don't worry about it. A local pastor has promised to foot the bill for fighting this legal fight.
Okay.
Which we hear about a lot. There are a lot of organizations that promise that they're going, Christian organizations, that promise they're going to pay if it goes, if it goes south or whatever. Well, so in the lower courts, the FFRF was owed $200,000 for their for their lawyer fees, because if you lose this case, you have to pay the other guy's lawyer's fees.
Right.
So $200,000. Then on the appeal, they were owed about $75,000 for the appeal.
Right.
These new people were responsible and decided not to pursue it because it would cost so much more to pursue it all the way to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Well, now the group, the pastor, Jack Hibbs of Calvary Chapel in Chino Hills, who has made it clear that he is not going to be funding any of that.
Oh, what changed?
Well,
the dollar amount?
Right. What changed is they lost, and he just didn't think that they would lose.
Oh,
no, I think
God.
So. What they claim is that because they didn't pursue it all the way, They're withdrawing their.
Dick move.
So there you go. Never trust someone who cites Jesus with your money. That's just the thing. So sorry, Chino Valley. You guys are going to be footing those bills. I guess the
Issue
kids
a bond.
I guess the kids don't need pencils this year.
Yeah.
Or books or
So how much total were
education.
the fees? 200 something?
300?
300?
Upward of $275,000.
Just fire some teachers.
Yeah, fire some students. Just get rid of the whole thing.
You guys clearly don't care about education, period,
I mean,
as the school district.
it sounds like if you had your druthers, you'd just make everybody homeschool.
Yeah.
Is what it sounds like.
Sounds like they got their wish.
Except that the new board members seem to maybe have heads on their shoulders. We'll see. We shall see.
All right. Well, Dan,
Yes.
this is a story I sort of debated bringing up because
I'll tell you at the end whether you made the right choice.
it's horrifying.
You made the wrong choice. I don't want to hear this. Okay.
Um,
Horrify me, baby.
All right. So here's the headline. China is harvesting organs from detainees, tribunal concludes. Let that sink in just for a little bit. We know that the Chinese government likes to detain. We've talked about the Uyghur Muslims recently.
That's right.
We have talked about Falun Gong in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a spiritual kind of. It's kind of steeped in meditation.
Yeah.
Kind of those slow movement exercise type
Yeah,
things.
it's connected to Qigong.
Yes, exactly.
And I don't know a lot about it, but it was huge in China.
It was huge. Like,
And then they cracked down on them.
Millions of people were starting to follow Falun Gong. I think I saw a number 70 million people.
Yeah.
At one point. And then in the late 90s, they started to sort of rally and
the
try
Chinese
to demand
government
rights.
just cracked down on
And
them like
that
crazy.
moment,
Yeah.
when they started to ask for religious freedoms and religious rights and whatnot, the Chinese government has been on a complete eradication
agenda
or path or whatever.
Yeah.
And so this tribunal, it was convened in London. It's called the China Tribunal.
Okay.
It's chaired by Sir Geoffrey Nice.
Okay.
He was a prosecutor at the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, if you remember that whole disaster.
Yeah.
So this guy has some experience in this sort of realm of looking into shit and people, mass executions and whatnot.
Sure.
So he said in a unanimous determination at the end of its hearings, it was certain that Falun Gong, as a source, probably the principal source, has been basically, this main source of organs for forced organ harvesting.
Wow.
The conclusion shows that very many people have died incredibly hideous deaths, that more may suffer in similar ways, and that all of us live on a planet where extreme wickedness may be found in the power of those, for the time being, running a country with one of the oldest civilizations known to modern man.
In fairness to them, they got a lot of people. They need a lot of organs. So
well, what's interesting, and one of kind of the telltale signs that they kind of has got people kind of wondering, is that waiting times for transplantation is really short in China.
yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. Transplants are usually available within just a couple of weeks.
Huh.
Which
I guess when you look at your prisons and all you see is an organ farm, I guess that's the thing.
They are confident, very confident, that Falun Gong is falling prey to this action. There is less evidence about the treatment of Tibetans, Uyghur Muslims, and some Christian sects, but they do suspect that that they are also harvesting organs from these groups. Wow. And so the story, and this is in The Guardian, right? So a pretty good source of news.
Yeah.
The Guardian did some nosing around. They talked to a Falun Gong activist who was in prison for a year in a female labor camp. She also gave evidence to the China tribunal. And she said that while imprisoned, they were subjected to repeated medical checkups and blood tests. She said, on the day we were transferred to the labor camp, we were taken to a medical facility where we underwent physical checkups. We were interrogated about what diseases we had, and I told them I had hepatitis. I don't know if she actually had hepatitis or not, but that was smart to say.
Yeah.
The second time, after about a month in the camp, everyone was handcuffed and put in a van and taken to a huge hospital. That was for more thorough physical checkups. We were given x-rays. On the third occasion in the camp, they were drawing blood from us. We were told to line up in the corridor, and the tests were given. They suspect that this was part of a medical selection process.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, why else were they just constantly testing?
Oh, yeah, because the Chinese government is so concerned about their prisoners' health and well-being.
Exactly.
Let's
do complete run-ups on
everybody. We
here.
really should know what's going on with you. Let's. When was your last sexual partner?
She said inmates of the labor camp were not allowed to exchange contact details, so there was no way to trace each other after we were released. When anyone disappeared from the camp, I would assume that she was released and gone home.
Right.
But in reality, that cannot be confirmed, as I have no way to trace others after my release, and I now fear that they may have been taken to a hospital and had their organs removed without consent and thus killed in the process.
Yeah.
So this is China. Holy cow! This is a level of religious persecution, and that's why I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, this is systematic and horrifying on a truly just for their conviction of belief. They're being targeted as, as just organ bags.
It's funny because you and I are so, I would say we're both pretty anti-religion. We're pretty, I don't think either of us thinks that it's a net good for anybody, really.
No.
However, people are going to have their beliefs and whatever.
Yeah.
It is funny because my next story, we may be on the same track. I don't know. I don't know where you're going to land on it. But it is funny when we're forced to defend the religious, when we're horrified by the acts of an atheist government against its religious believing.
A horrifying government.
Yeah.
A truly horrifying government.
Absolutely.
Their crimes against humanity are just racking up.
Indeed. Yeah.
And it's bringing me to this point of like, there's just this looming question over me of like, when are we, the West, the United States, the West, when are we going to do something about this?
Well,
what can we do?
We're going to do something about it when we don't have a president who calls it China. Because currently all he cares about is his little trumped up trade war. Yeah. His little pretend trade war that he gets to fight a trade war that doesn't exist. So there you go. Okay.
Okay. Well, let's see.
China's bad. So okay. China's bad. That's good. Quebec may also be bad.
Oh,
we shall see.
I saw this headline.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Quebec passed Bill 21.
Yeah.
Recently, Bill 21 basically says that no person who works for the province is allowed to wear any religious symbols at all.
Yeah.
Now, we've had some similar discussions, some discussions that are like this.
Right.
And a lot of secular people are very into this idea, very happy with this idea of banning. Because, now here's what I understand. Here's what I get.
Yeah.
There is a problem. If you go into a county clerk in Alabama and you are a Muslim and someone's wearing a cross around their neck, it would be a very reasonable thing to think, I'm not going to get a fair shake from this person. I'm not going to be treated fairly.
Right.
And so there is this sense of like, and also, if I'm sending if you're sending an atheist kid to school and their teacher is wearing a cross every day,
Right.
you could start to feel like maybe some indoctrination is happening. There's something a little spooky about it. However, and that's what they're trying to combat. They're trying to combat this idea that, like, they're trying to get to the state is as an entirely religion neutral environment.
Right.
It's secular. It is. There's no religion practiced in how we practice our jobs.
Right.
And that's important. That's absolutely vital.
Right.
But to not leave room for people's deeply held religious beliefs, if a Jewish man feels that he must wear a kippah to be in compliance with his God, or if a Muslim woman, and most people are pretty sure that this is just about hijabs.
Right.
That's what this is, an anti-hijab bill.
Right. Why is this coming up now?
Yeah.
Right.
So, but that's not hurting anybody. That's not professing anything to anybody. If that same woman is wearing a hijab and telling people that come up to her line in the at the Department of Motor Vehicles, telling them that they need to convert to Islam, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
But if she's just wearing there's blurry lines, because just wearing a cross around your neck, no Christian in the world believes that their God has commanded them to wear a cross around their neck.
Yeah, and see that's where it does get a little tricky.
Yeah.
Right, because if you are allowing somebody who feels a mandate, right, and not just a mandate, a fucking like a true requirement,
right?
Like, this is she has to wear this thing,
right,
right,
or a Sikh person wearing their turban,
exactly,
right.
But you are correct. In Christianity, there aren't a lot of those things.
Right.
There are certain sects that have some things, like the Anabaptists or the German Baptists, whatever they're called. The women will have a little bun. Their hair will be in a bun, and there's like this little like bun carport that they put on the back of their
little
head.
Cheesecloth that they put over it. Just keeps it smelling fresh all day.
So, and that's a requirement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Mormons have the good sense to hide their important clothing under the rest of their clothing.
But yeah, so it's like, well, what do you do? Do you allow the necklace,
right?
Just because you're giving it to these other people, you're
right.
letting them wear their thing,
right?
So
and
if a Christian really wants to make a point and wear their cross because she gets to wear her hijab.
Right. And if she wears the cross, then why can't she wear her "I love Jesus and so should you" t-shirt? There's a line that has to be drawn.
Yeah. And I think it's before they get to
it's before the
messaging.
T-shirt.
There's no messaging.
Right.
Allowed.
Exactly. It's definitely after, it's after a Sikh has to take off his turban. That needs to be allowed. And before a woman can wear her "Jesus is my co-pilot" t-shirt.
Jesus, take the wheel. Yeah, I don't know, Dan. I'm so conflicted on this one. There was probably a subconscious reason why I didn't pick up this article. No, I mean I didn't, because I saw it and I was like, oh wow, there's a continuation of that saga and actually a resolution on this saga.
Yeah,
a decision made, and so, but I didn't want to go near it, and it's probably because I'm just.
It's not easy.
I'm conflicted.
I feel like anyone who thinks that this is an easy answer one way or another, probably hasn't thought deeply enough about it, because it's not easy.
No.
A line must be drawn.
Yeah.
And where that line is drawn is tricksy.
I do think
I feel like they've gone way too far.
Well, and it feels like, oh God, I don't want to say it's the easy line to draw. Just nothing.
Right.
Because that's it. Because it's, you don't arrive to that decision easily either. But like, it does seem to not be in the right place to me. And but I I don't know where else to put it. And I think that that's where I kind of run into a problem.
Well, you could say religiously mandated clothing is allowable.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're going to have somebody who's like, my dreadlocks and my, slumpy clothes are part of my Rastafarian religion or whatever. And then
or you have some, clever local pastor.
Right.
Who's like, I command you all to wear their cross.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's tricky, but I feel like if you're living in, and the point, it's a multicultural land. It is a place. It is not a monoculture.
I know.
And if you want that and encourage that, and Canadians tend to want that, and Americans should, but Canadians tend to do a little better at it, except for Alberta, obviously. If you want that I'm just teasing. If you want that multiculturalism, you have to be able to make some space for it. You got to make some room.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And your monoculture can't just be secularism.
No,
because that's not a pluralistic society. You're not acknowledging the society that you exist in.
Right.
And I think that these rules.
I mean, the government has to be secular.
Yes.
To run well,
yes.
The government absolutely has to be secular.
I'm not saying...
But the people who work in the government don't have to be secular.
Because they're not.
They're humans. They're
right.
not part of... They're not... they're not part of the institution.
I just always feel like a secular society... Maybe I'm thinking of pluralism. I'm thinking of multiculturalism, I guess. More than secularism.
Yeah. It's important.
I don't know where I stand, Dan. Anyway, all right, cool.
Okay.
Let's move on. I know where I stand on this one, Dan.
Yeah.
Drag bingo. Drag queen bingo, right? This is a thing.
I've done it.
Fun thing.
I've been there many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, there's a county in Pennsylvania where drag queen bingo has been going on.
Sure.
And they've been doing fundraisers for the local fire department.
Great.
Isn't that great?
Cute.
Right? Well, some local pastors are outraged.
Of course they are.
They have written a stern letter to the local fire departments, encouraging them to not do this anymore.
Don't accept their money.
Get this, Dan.
Yeah.
The gall of these people. In this era of the Me Too movement, the last thing we wanted any of our fire departments to experience would be a potential situation where an individual might have felt unwanted advances, and then we certainly didn't want to see any of our local fire departments have to defend themselves against a potential lawsuit.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He's trying to take Me Too and be like, people are reacting. People are overreacting to physical touch and
oh my God,
blah blah blah, and it's like, wait, what?
It literally is the case that almost all of these homophobic pastors or whatever, in their minds, they cannot separate the concept of being gay from just lustfully launching themselves at anyone who happens to be around.
Right. Well, in this letter,
I guarantee you that particular pastor is going to be arrested in 2 months for molesting one of their parishioners.
Oh, God. He wrote in this letter that drag queen bingo encourages touching, groping, and fondling.
Does it?
And he adds that
fascinating.
That men and women may feel pressured to accept the advances.
Oh. I mean, I've never been to that drag queen bingo.
Yeah.
But, nah.
Yeah.
That's not what happens. Yeah. That's not how that goes.
And even if it was kind of a racy little show.
Sure.
You
know what you're getting yourself into when you go to drag queen bingo.
Right. Especially if that's what that one is all about. I don't know that it is. It just sounds like this guy is making shit up.
Well, yeah, this guy has not been there. This guy is not. Maybe
clearly not.
He heard one story or something.
So local drag queen Jeff Kaczynski, also known as Lisa Lips.
Yeah.
He performs with the Sparkling Queens of Drag. and they're scheduled to perform at the Calumet Volunteer Fire Department's fundraiser on July 20th. Kaczynski said that their shows and it's all in good fun, and it's profitable for these volunteer fire departments.
Yeah.
He says that there are a couple departments that have raised $23,000, $28,000
Sure.
dollars. He says it depends on the crowd, and when the crowd comes, they know they're not just getting bingo, they're getting entertainment,
Yeah.
and it's fun.
Everybody
And
loves it.
Everybody has a good
Except
time,
one
except for
grumpy pastor.
Pastor Mark Werner.
Oh.
Mark Werner.
Oh. His life is so hard. When will the drag queens love me?
When will the firemen? That's what's on Mark Werner's mind.
Oh, yeah.
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 He can only imagine, these drag queens and the firemen. Like, it's just too much for him.
Yeah.
Like he's just like
His brain just
it's
short
just
circuit.
too
His objection
much.
to drag is probably just that they then look like women, and he's only attracted to the men.
Take off those clothes.
How dare you?
I liked you better when you looked like a man. Like
yeah,
a man.
exactly. Take off that makeup.
Ooh.
Now take off that shirt. Now keep going. Keep going. Okay, I'm going to tell us about. There's a Muslim comedian named Dean Obadallah
Okay.
who he has a podcast. He's done, he's got a radio show on Sirius and stuff. He's a fairly prominent comedian.
All right.
Wrote a little op-ed after. Do you remember that an Ariana Grande concert in 2017 was bombed and a bunch of people were killed?
Yeah.
Well, this guy wrote an op-ed called I don't know what it was called. Anyway, he wrote an op-ed sort of taking Trump and his ilk to task, basically saying, this is doesn't matter who did this, it's white Christian males are the real terrorists of this era.
Right.
Something along those lines. Those were my words, and I believe them. Anyway, so there was backlash, and this was 2017, so things were hot in this country, if you'll recall, in terms of Trump had just been installed as president, and everybody was all the right wing was insane. The neo-Nazis were out like in droves. They felt newly emboldened.
Right.
And a website called the Daily Stormer. Have you heard of that?
I have.
Which is a neo-Nazi sort of alt-right propaganda website.
Yeah.
Posted a bunch of news stories, those are in scare quotes, of about this guy, and this was their MO, right? Anyone who attacked their people, they just went on the attack. And what they did was they accused him of masterminding that bombing. They said that they had proof that he was connected with ISIS. They fabricated tweets that he hadn't done, and all of this stuff. Well, I think what they didn't know was that he's a former lawyer.
Oh boy.
And he sued them. He didn't represent himself, but he sued them.
But he well understood his right.
Right, yes. So he sued them for libel.
Yeah.
He was just awarded a $4.1 million defamation
fantastic.
So that's great.
Wow.
There is one negative point to make, which is that the website's founder, Andrew Anglin, chose not to defend himself, didn't show up, and nobody knows where he is.
Oh.
So who knows what's going to happen? It costs $17 a month to keep a website up. You know what I mean? A website like that up, and he can do it from probably anywhere. So I don't have a lot of hope that this guy's going to get his money, but I definitely think this sends a chill down the spine of anybody who wants to defame the character of people just because they politically disagree with them.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Wow.
A lot of fun to harass the Jews and the Muslims apparently out in these United States.
Good Lord.
But it will cost you.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
$4.1 million.
Yeah.
That's how much it costs.
That should be, let it be known.
Yeah.
There are other lawsuits pending, by the way, against the Daily Stormer.
Oh, fantastic. Good.
Including an American university student who is seeking $1.5 million
Wow.
for allegedly inciting harassment against her. Because these people, what they do is they dox somebody
Yeah.
and then encourage harassment.
Yeah. It's
Go
hard.
get him.
Yeah.
Go get her.
It's wretched.
It's disgusting and it needs to stop. And I hope more and more and more people get held accountable for it.
Absolutely.
So there you go.
All right. Well, Dan,
Yes, sir.
we're in the middle of something of a drive.
We're in the middle of a drive. Is that what we want to call it?
I don't know.
A campaign.
Campaign. We're asking for your support.
Here's the
Dear
deal,
listeners,
you
we're
guys.
asking for your support.
We've heard you. You don't like the ads that we run.
Yeah. And we don't like the ads.
I mean, nothing against our advertisers. Every now and then we get one. We don't choose our ads, and every now and then we get one that we're like in 2016. Trump ran some ads on our show.
Yeah.
And that wasn't us, and people got very upset.
Right.
We would just as soon be entirely listener supported.
Yeah,
And
it's a
that-
much better position.
That is
for
our
us.
goal.
Yeah.
So we've decided that we want to work toward you guys being our sole support.
Right.
And the way that we can do that is for you to become a supporter. You go to thankgodimatheist.com and you click on, there's a banner right on that front page. There's a banner off to the right-hand side. You can just click on that and
Yeah.
that'll take you straight to the Patreon. Or you go to patreon.com/ what is it? Thank God I'm Atheist.
TGIA.
I'm about to find out, but you keep talking while I find out what it is, because I'm gonna.
Yeah, and what you'll find on the Patreon page, you're going to find levels of support, rewards that come for supporting us at those levels.
Yeah.
Some of those include things like an ad-free version of the show, which is obviously going to become a moot point, but you can get yourself there
But
now.
yeah, you're ahead of the curve. You
Yeah.
already get the ad-free version of the show.
You know, and then the access to the Frank and Dan Diaries, a little weekly blatherthon that we do before
Very,
the show.
very
It's kind of
very good quality, high quality stuff.
we essentially did record our warm up and then give it to you guys. And it's usually has nothing to do with any of the topics that we were talking about that week on the show. So it's kind of nice.
This week's got to
It included Cheetos, not Cheetos, Fritos,
Fritos, asparagus. We talked then about
hang gliding to work.
yeah.
Somehow that got us to hang
We'll
gliding
get to
work.
look. You're gonna get some seriously good content for free. We just give that to you at a
but
certain level.
We've also set it up as a campaign, right? There we have some goals that we've set to help us get there. Essentially, as we hit these goals, 1/4 of the ads are going to go away. Then half the ads will go away. Then when we hit the third benchmark, 3/4 of the ads will go away. And then when we finally hit this goal of having 350 patrons, we will turn off ads entirely. And we'll go from there.
So yeah,
It'll be an amazing day.
If it has ever occurred to you that $1 an episode is something you can afford,
Yeah.
and something you're willing and able and desire to do, you can pause this show right now, and you can go to thankgodimatheist.com and just click on that thing on the right hand side and become a supporter. Yeah. And we love you.
Yeah.
So, thanks, everybody. Hey, if you'd like to be email us about any of the stories that you've heard so far, you can do so by going to, by emailing. You use the email address.
Emails.
Which is emails@email.email. Or podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or you can call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yeah, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist. Click on that like button.
And while you're on Facebook, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It is a closed group, but we will let you in. Hey, Dan,
Yes, sir.
there's a big trend in food right now.
Oh, yes.
It's this whole plant-based
Eat the rich.
meat
Oh, you're okay.
alternatives.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. You might have heard of things like the Impossible Burger,
Yeah.
or the Beyond Burger. Some of these products are like at national fast food chains
Yeah.
now.
It's just
maybe
burgers that aren't
limited
made
areas, but they're trying to get it out there.
They're
right?
plant-based.
They're plant-based, and to be honest, fairly convincing.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Actually, the flavors
they're
are nice.
meaty. They're savory. They're good.
It's the first time because believe me, I have tried some vegan food, and I'm not a dirt jerk about it,
Yeah.
but and all of your meat substitutes have sucked so far.
And when I was a vegetarian, I always preferred things that didn't purport to be meat.
Right. They were just their own
and
thing.
I still love a good garden burger.
Sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like a nice little veggie patty of some kind. It's not trying to be meat. This stuff is trying to be meat.
And it's good. But
And it's pretty good.
but there's a problem. And Pastor Rick Wiles
he knows exactly what this problem is, and he's going to tell us all about it.
When you go to your favorite fast food restaurant, you're going to be eating a fake hamburger. You're going to go to the grocery store and buy a pound of fake hamburger or a fake steak, and you won't know that it was grown in some big corporation's laboratory. This is the nightmare world that they're taking us into. They're changing God's creation. Why? Because they want to be God. They want to do exactly what Lucifer did before the flood. It's why God destroyed it. He said he regretted that he ever made mankind because they were destroying his creation. The Bible says God is coming back to destroy those who are destroying the earth. So God is an environmentalist. He takes this very seriously. He created this planet. He created the universe. And he's watching these Luciferians destroy his planet, destroy the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, change human DNA. Why? They want to change human DNA so that you can't be born again. That's where they're going with this, to change the DNA of humans so it will be impossible for a human to be born again. They want to create a race of soulless creatures on this planet.
I'm sorry?
I'm sure you all followed that completely without any trouble.
I beg your... What?
He has made
What?
He has made absolutely foolproof, concrete arguments. You can't deny it when he puts it that way.
I think he thinks that there's some sort of fake cow that's being grown, that's being slaughtered to get this meat.
I think
does he not understand that this is all just like that it's plant-based?
It's just a plant-based food. I think because they were working on growing real meat, like actual, like like not human, actual like.
Although
it's the sweetest nectar, the human body. No, but they have been working on lab-grown meat.
Yeah.
That's not what this is.
That is not what this is. Yeah.
Also, so what if it is?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You didn't have a cow suffering.
Exactly. You're not you're not supporting
What?
the flatulence cows flatulating us into oblivion because
Right.
of our global warming and whatever.
What the fuck, man?
But God's an environmentalist.
what?
Listen, this
First
man.
of all, oh my God.
And somehow, I think what he thinks is happening is that they're taking plants, changing the DNA until they're animals, and then making the meat out of that. I think, I really genuinely think that's what he thinks is happening.
There's this little flower, and then a cow starts to form.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I don't know if you've ever seen a cow plant, but it is horrifying.
I don't know, a steak plant could be pretty good.
Yeah.
That could be lovely. It's this big, meaty, like, bleh.
And then he gets to the human DNA thing.
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
What
So
the
that
fuck
you
are
can't
you
be
talking
born
about?
again. This is just. I mean, I know this man is a lunatic.
Yeah.
I know he is totally derailed half the time. But at a certain point, I just have to believe that he knows he's making some of this up just to rile people up. But like, also, who's so fucking gullible to think that like the scientists are trying to create a race of humans that the Lord's redeeming powers, whatever this nonsense is,
Right.
can't reach them. They've built a Jesus defense shield around this race of human beings,
Right.
And they can't be subject to the atonement or whatever.
Right, yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with this?
I
man?
want to know how much we have to change the human genome before God goes, I don't know what that is. That can't be born again. I don't know what that is.
The sooner the better.
Right?
At least in there. Well, no.
Ugh.
Oh my God.
Lunatic. That was
He's
one
a
of,
lunatic.
but that was delightful. It literally, like, he
has
didn't
no grip
make
on reality.
He didn't make a lick of sense from point A to point B.
I mean, more and more and more, he is the old man on the corner. In his, like,
Later he's going to be
just
complaining
yelling at
about
the kids.
Don't wear sweaters. They're Satan's tool against you. Everybody needs to stop using plastic cups because that's where the demons come in. And by the way, pretzels are Satan's toothpicks. I don't know.
That's interesting.
Anyway, we had some folks write into us, call into us. We should do some of that. Hey, Lance wrote in and said, "Hey, Frank and Dan, I found out about your podcast 2 months ago."
Yeah. Hey,
Frank,
welcome.
Frank, you're not ready for what he's about to say.
Oh, no.
And I just finished all of the backlog today.
In 2 months?
What have you been doing? Are you
Do
okay?
not encourage this.
Lance, are you okay? I am very concerned about Lance. You need more life than that. We love you, but my God, man. Anyway,
Well, Lance might be rehabilitating from something.
Well,
he might
here's-
have had a lot of time on his hands. I bet he was in traction or something.
okay, we'll just no.
That's my prediction for Lance. But yeah,
anyway,
please.
he says
Oh.
I'm all cut up. You'd think that living in rural Missouri, all the gays around here would have been long ago fed up with churches. Not so.
Oh.
In fact, at least half the guys out here are still religious. Frank, I don't know how you found one, but congrats. I assume he means a boyfriend.
Oh. Yeah, well, thank you.
I don't know
Lance.
how you found a boyfriend either.
I know. I'm not very lovable.
He says, thank you guys for not only being a source of atheism when there isn't any around me in at least a 3-hour radius, but for not hiding from LGBTQ plus topics while not having that be your whole identity. It's something sorely missing out here. So, so if you can, just record 5 or 6 hours a day so I can keep going at this pace. That'd be great. Thanks.
Well, Lance.
Get well soon,
God
Lance.
bless you, Lance.
Whatever it is you're recovering from,
Yeah.
get well soon. And no, we're not going to be
probably
doing that.
Listening at work.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But boy, howdy, Lance. That's some commitment.
Yeah. And you know what, Lance? I do want to say, look for some atheist meetup groups. I'll bet there's some closer
There might
than
be
you
something. Yeah.
think. And
Yep.
and you know, I think there may be somebody out there, because we're everywhere.
Yeah, we are.
Most atheists in the more rural areas don't speak it loudly to people, but
Find yourself a gay atheist.
go get yourself
Because they're out there too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go find one. They're there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Dear Frank and Dan, this is from Jim. Regarding the Good Friday story from Canada and the listener from New Zealand who discussed their similar law. Remember, this was a law where in Canada, a store was required to be closed on Good Friday.
Yeah. This is mind-boggling.
Yeah. Jim says, is all that silliness really any different from the federal holidays we have in the U.S., specifically Christmas Day?
Yeah.
While not mandated in the private sector, these are designated as legal public holidays by the United States Congress. Try mailing a letter or renewing a passport on Christmas. Regardless of your religion or lack thereof, by mandate of the U.S. federal government, it will not be allowed.
Good point.
This is clearly a government endorsement. not only of religion in general, but of Christianity in particular. And he goes on to say that he'd like to see the FFRF take it up. I don't think the FFRF is ready for that battle yet.
Yeah, that's gonna take some time. Deep pockets.
Yeah. Well, and also it would just be thrown right out.
The end of the FFRF. The public outcry
would be
so loud.
Our society is unfortunately not ready for that lawsuit yet. We'll get there.
But it does seem like, this is where the Satanic Temple needs to come in. Right? They need to start lobbying for some
federal Satan holiday.
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
Or something along the or like why is it only that the Christian holidays have ever hit the calendar? Like why don't we have a national holiday that's a Jewish holiday or a Muslim holiday?
Happy Ramadan, everybody. Sorry the stores are closed.
And it rotates around.
Now, mind you, in the U.S., we don't require stores to be closed.
No, it's cultural.
It is different. Some stores do close.
There's the expectation.
But it's their choice. That's an important difference.
And there's just the best excuse to be closed.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like businesses that are open most days of the week don't like to just randomly close in an unpredictable way.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's tough to close for other holidays.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
But let's get them all done.
Let's
cut them all out. I like it. I think it's a long way off, but I support it.
Yes, indeed. The eliminating of all of
That's the war on Christmas, man.
Yeah,
that's the real war on Christmas,
and it's coming. Christians, the war on Christmas is
watch
coming.
Your backs.
All right. Well, we had a voicemail, right? Oh, if Frank survives whatever he was just choking on, he can play as a voicemail.
Yeah, here we go. Here's another listener with some perspective on the issue of abortion. That has come up recently on the show.
Yeah, we had a listener
being out.
Yeah, we had a listener call in and ask, or write in and ask if she has some sort an obligation to come out as having had an abortion, or
if there would
along
be any,
the lines,
if there would be any sort of benefit,
right?
Sort of in the vein of like the coming out of gay people and
right.
And the importance of coming out as an atheist, if you can. So here we go.
Hi guys, I'm calling in regarding to the abortion. Exactly what you were saying. I did have an abortion, and I did have a couple of people that know me and that are a little bit upset about the whole abortion thing because of the stuff that they get fed by by these right-wing people here in the South, in South Carolina. And they were shocked that a normal, somewhat nice girl like me would have had an abortion and not regret it. Because I don't regret it. I have one child. I didn't want another one. There was some other stuff going on, but I'm really done with trying to make excuses for it. In the end, I didn't want the kid, and I had an abortion, and that was it. All right, just wanted to share that. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, and that's it. Right?
That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of we understand how scary it could be or whatever, but I think the voice of the women having the abortion is largely missing from the dialogue.
Yeah,
the people that are talking about it are a bunch of white men trying to regulate uteruses, and then like Planned Parenthood,
right?
But the
providers,
providers, exactly. But
healthcare providers.
We need to
women's health providers.
I think the voices of the women who have who are safe and who have that kind of bravery.
Yeah,
we need to hear them, because I think the narrative is so easy for them to control about. Women are always they always regret it, and it's always this terrible experience or whatever. And most women, that's not the case. Most women who have abortions are like this woman. They've had a child. Like the majority of abortions are women who are already parents. And
they know how awful it is, right?
Right. They've learned their lesson.
Like, no more.
Oh my God, no! Get out. Anyway, but yes, I think more women telling their stories is awesome.
God, it feels like that's got to be a next step. And I mean, two white guys saying it.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You know, like
Take what we're saying and make sure that you take it to heart, everybody. Our opinion is more important
On
than
the
yours.
issue of abortion?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. We're like taking all these white guys to task for their you stay out of her business.
right. Ours is more of encouraging
Yeah.
women though to have a voice
Right.
and to have a powerful voice.
And if we can amplify
And-
that voice, then
Yeah, and
I'd like
yes,
to do that.
Absolutely.
We have one more email from Bart. I just wanted to read this real quick. Hey, Frank and Dan, I did exactly what you said. I paused the podcast and became a patron. Now back to the show. Damn, Skippy. And a bunch of people have done that.
Yeah.
And we have some thinking to
we
do.
do have some thinking to do. Bear with us.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a good format for doing this. We don't have one established. But we have 20 people to thank.
Woo!
Which is
just plow through.
Boy, howdy.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. All right, you ready? Brace yourself.
I
Brace
am.
yourself, Dan.
I'm
Okay,
ready.
Here we go.
I'm braced.
Okay, these are the new faithful listeners. They're
Okay.
coming in at $1 an episode.
And that is awesome.
Okay, so we have Jack, Crispy Patopoulos. I said that poorly. T, Sinjin, Brent, Kevin, Michael, turn the page, Ross, Anon, Ron, and Cindy.
Wow. You guys, amazing. Thank all of you. Let's keep going. What do we got?
We have new venerable listeners. These are people coming in at the $2 an episode level.
Damn, you guys.
This is, we've got Laura, Warren, turn the page, Catherine, and Cody.
It is clear, you guys, that we are not prepared for this much love. And
know, it's
I
amazing.
love it. You guys are
Absolutely
awesome.
amazing.
So thank all of you guys. Who's next?
The beatified listeners, these are people giving $3 an episode.
Okay.
We have Bart, and I think there was one other on this list. There is Skipper Marie.
Skipper Marie.
Woo!
You guys,
We have more to thank.
I know.
We
It's
ha-
amazing.
Thank you.
Just keep it coming.
Thank you so far.
I feel like I'm showering in love.
Good.
Bring it on, baby.
A new saint,
Ooh.
Saint Blibso.
I beg your pardon. Gesundheit.
I don't know how to say it. You know who you are. Thank you. You're a new saint.
Yes. Okay.
And then we
I
have-
love that you've tripped up Frank like that. That's amazing.
And then we have two new popes.
Oh wow.
We have Pope Atropos.
Okay.
Atropos, maybe. And then Pope Stacy.
Wow.
Probably the first Pope Stacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are all stunning human beings.
Unbelievable. And then
And you're rocketing us towards our goals.
yeah, we're getting there way quicker than I would have
Oh,
dreamt possible.
It's
actually.
amazing. That's awesome.
And then of course we have our well, actually not of course, because we have a new Lord and Savior.
Oh,
We have
we've retired our old one.
retired?
The jersey is now hung up in the stadium.
much thanks
So
thanks
much-
to Josh, but we now have a new Lord and Savior, Hannah.
Holy Hannah, you are the Lord and Savior of the podcast. Well done, Holy Hannah. And thank you so much to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not been had the thrills and chills of being thanked and feeling the appreciation from Frank and Dan,
Yeah.
you can get it.
Yeah.
All you got to do is go to thankgodimatheist.com, click on that thing on the side of the page, and you're there.
Yeah. It's good. You're good to go. So thanks so much, guys. Dan.
Yes, sir.
Gay bashing.
You, my friend,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm horrified to say it, were hate crimed.
I was hate crimed.
No, you were gay bashed.
I wasn't even.
It wasn't a really crime.
Well, because in the state of Utah, it's not a crime.
No.
But it's not a hate crime. No, and I don't know that that's not a gay bashing. I wasn't beaten.
No. But you were
I was,
you were verbally assaulted.
I was. It was more like a verbal.
Someone was a dick.
Somebody was a dick.
We're gonna just say somebody was a dick to Frank
at a downtown Salt Lake City supermarket.
at the Shishi one.
Yeah. We're just
At the fancy
Dave and I are
supermarket.
just minding our own business.
Neither of you wearing glitter of any kind.
No.
Or,
we were buying supplies for a pool party.
Not hot
Right.
pants or anything.
We were having a bunch of people. We're moving out
Right.
of my complex, right?
Yeah.
And there's a community pool, and we're not going to have a community pool anymore. And so we were like, well, let's have a bunch of friends over. And we had a big old nice little pool party.
Right.
You didn't come. Thank you very much.
I was out of town. I couldn't. I was heartbroken.
Andrea came and it was lovely.
Heartbroken to miss it.
But we were offering up, grill and we bought a bunch of sides and we were saying, bring your own meat and la la la. So we were there, looking through the hot dogs. We were trying to find the Huber Nationals, because they are wonderful. And they didn't have any. So we settled for Nathan's.
Okay.
Good.
Sure.
Good hot dogs.
You're not going Oscar Mayer. You're going.
If we're gonna get hot dogs, if we're taking that step in our life, we're gonna get good hot dogs. But anyway, so we're just minding our own business, just kind of discussing which ones to get.
Right.
And I think that was about the moment when we settled on the Nathans, and this guy walks by and he's like, "Fucking faggots."
God damn it.
And it's like, and he was like, "Watch out, here come the faggots," or something like that. It was something just stupid and inane or whatever. And Dave was the one who kind of heard it first, and he yells something out, "Fuck you" or whatever. And then I became very aware of the situation, and I was like, "Fuck you, you piece of shit."
Which is great.
Not my finest moment.
Oh, no, that's fine. I think that's fine.
But then this woman comes running out of one of the aisles, right? And she's like, "What just happened?" So I tell her the whole thing, and she's like, "Point him out to me, point him." And at this point, I'm seriously just like, I do not know what she's about to do, but yes, I will point him out. Because
you want to see that train wreck happen.
I was kind of curious. And she's gonna go yell at him. I didn't know. But we walked down to the end of the area and point down the aisle, and she's like, "Oh, well, there was this guy. I thought it was this other guy because there was this guy in a MAGA hat who was yelling at and got in a fight with somebody else, and he starts calling him a faggot." And she's like, what is going on? This is Salt Lake City."
Yes.
And you must understand, everybody. Like, as I've told this story, people are like, I'm going to say the name of the store just for like the locals. They're like, "You were at Harmon's?
That happened
at Harmon's?" Like, a hippie yelled faggot at you at the Harmon? Like,
oh my God.
It wasn't a hippie, but like,
right.
Just people were projecting like who's at the Harmons,
right?
Who's at the Harmons.
Yeah.
And anyway.
I once bumped into former Republican governor of the state, John Huntsman.
At Harmon's?
At Harmon's.
Downtown Harmon's?
At that Harmon's.
Everybody goes to that Harmon's.
Everybody goes to that Harmon's.
Yeah.
Including gay bashers. Including...
Yeah. Anyway. So, I mean, the guy continues to mutter off and there, I don't know, like, I sort of ended up sort of taking pity on him more than anything.
Yeah.
That was my perspective. Like, Dave was really riled up.
Yeah.
Like, he wanted to, like, because we saw, as we were leaving the parking garage and we were kind of rounding the corner, we saw him and he was waiting to cross the street. And, he wanted to yell stuff at him, and I was like, no, man, no.
Yeah.
That's not the way I want to play this.
Well, I'm glad that, okay, first of all, I'm glad that you're okay. And I'm glad that he didn't.
I was unfazed because it wasn't a physical thing at all.
Right. You didn't feel any menace.
No,
from him.
and I seriously, within like 30 seconds after sort of the initial shock of it, because it's been a while. I mean, I got called faggot by some homeless guy during Pride.
Oh.
But you just write that off. It's Pride, and
you look around you, mister.
Sort of expect
everybody's gay right now.
And it's like, what the? It was some mentally ill homeless guy. I just wasn't gonna like it. That didn't really affect me either. I think I probably said the exact same line. "Fuck you, you piece of shit." It's my go-to.
It's a go-to.
But I mean, to be honest, been called a faggot in passing in public twice in 2.5 weeks, 2
Yeah.
weeks, 2 weeks. And it's a little weird
Yeah.
to have not had sort of that experience in a very long time, and to have had it be such a limited experience in my adult life. Right. That like it was really kind of jarring, and I mean it definitely makes you take a step back and go, what the fuck? You know, what the hell is going on?
I mean, as we've
that because I never twice in 2 weeks.
Right.
I mean, that's where I'm at.
Yeah,
Right.
totally. Which is, I mean, how great is it that it's so rare that this feels like this bizarre anomaly?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, this is not an okay thing to have happen.
No.
And it's scary that it is happening. Again, we've talked about this, but yeah, the assholes are emboldened right now in our country, and we got to be careful about that. I thought, I mean, you and I were joking around about this when you told me this story. I think we should come up with better things to yell.
Well, the one that so here's the deal. I don't like that my reaction so often is "fuck you, you piece of shit."
Okay.
Right. Like I don't like that.
Right.
I don't like that
It's
my
not
go-to
ideal.
is "fuck you."
Yeah.
I would rather.
I mean, he deserves it.
I don't feel bad
No.
that I said it.
No.
I feel bad that I don't have a better retort.
You need a good line.
I need a good line.
So let's brainstorm up some stuff here.
Somebody mutters "faggot." I honestly think that it should just be like, well, yeah. I mean, generally, I want my response to just be like, yeah. What are you talking about?
Duh.
Yeah. Well, duh.
Doy. Do doy. I'm bringing back doy.
Doy.
Doy. I like that.
I think there's also
That's just because the benefit of that is that it's just like he's the idiot.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Tell me something I don't know.
well, and also
Right.
like, yes, society has accepted this now.
Yeah.
You're on the wrong side of this.
Yeah. I feel like yelling something like "child molester" could have a certain satisfaction. I don't know that that's quite it.
Yeah. I mean, I get where you're
It's probably
going.
2 on the nose.
Yeah, there you go. You could do something. You could try to cut to now. Oh, by the way, I want to mention we're not suggesting that you do this if you feel like you're in any danger or anything like that.
Yeah. This guy, I was in a very public space where, believe me, the moment this guy was out of sight, I spotted like 2 or 3 super swishy gay guys just walking around.
Right.
Like if there had been a kerfuffle, he would have been the one in trouble.
He would have
at
been
this store.
swished right out of that store.
No, but at that particular store, the woman who came to running, right? And and people like turn and look because I mean I said it loudly enough that portion of the store heard me.
Right.
They didn't hear him.
Don't put
They
yourself.
heard me.
It is our official policy here at TGIA. Don't put yourself in danger with anything that we've said. Anyway,
if he'd gotten physical, Jesus fucking Christ. Ugh. Like there would have been the initial reaction of just like, what the fuck? I don't know what Dave would have done for one.
yeah.
But like we had a basket full of shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like that thing would have gotten swung around.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway.
Anyway, I think one way you can go. You tell me how you feel about this. Is to try and wither them a little bit with something like like something along the lines of like being mean won't fill your empty heart.
One. You got to have your finger out.
Yeah.
You got to waggle your finger when you say that.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Or I'm sorry your dad didn't love you. You know what I mean? Like something like
I'm
that.
sorry for you is a pretty good one.
Right. Yeah.
I
Go
know.
down that road. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I suppose you could just stand there and yell, "Hate crime! Hate crime! Call 911!" See if you can get them to run.
Hate crime. That's pretty good. I don't know.
Police.
Man. I don't know. Like it's such a weird thing.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's disappointing in humanity.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Yeah.
What do you do, Dan?
How do I know?
I mean,
I am a straight white man. I don't know how to handle any of this stuff except that, like,
Let me tell you.
Here's what I will say. all of you straight white men out there, if you see any of this shit happening, we got to stand up.
Yeah.
We got to stand up
absolutely.
for our brothers and sisters of color. We got to stand up for our LGBTQ plus people.
Mm-hmm.
It's there needs to be a cost to the privilege that we've enjoyed.
Yeah.
And I think that is actually very important.
Yeah.
I think we as those who enjoy the privilege probably need to start standing up.
Yeah. Well, I honestly think the for me, the best thing that I could do with that was to go to the pool party, right?
Yeah.
And have a good time with my friends, right? And to laugh about it.
Yeah.
We told the story all afternoon and just laughed and laughed and laughed about it. And so it was just like, that's what you do.
Yeah.
You don't let it really truly affect you. But
so
you
key.
you do let it add another layer of armor. You take it and you say, you know what, I've been through that. I've been through it a few times in my life of having this shock of somebody feeling like they have to, for whatever reason, comment in an insulting manner about who I am. Right. To me. Right. Unprovoked. I haven't done anything. I'm just standing there. Right. And you just let it build you up. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're capable of it, if this hits you hard and if something happens and it hits you hard, that's fine. You got to deal with your things your way. But the best revenge you can take is to live a happy life.
Yeah.
Is to find a way not to let it get to you, and to live your best life.
Right. Yeah.
That's the best thing you can do.
Yep.
Because fuck him.
Yeah. Because
fuck him, that piece of shit. That's what
I said.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, if you guys have a good line that you think should be yelled at homophobes and or racists or whatever, please feel free to send them in to us. We promise we don't make any promises as to what we'll do with them, but we may yell them at someone.
We may yell them at you guys.
Yeah, we'll try them out. We'll see what happens. Anyway, write to us, podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Indeed. Go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist, and click that like button.
And while you're on Facebook, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It is a closed group. We'll let you in. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's totally worth checking out. Also, if you're on Reddit or Twitter, TGIA Atheist is how you'll find us on those.
Yeah. Hey, you know who's great? Mackenzie, who does our
amazing.
Facebook page. She is astounding. And Danny and Amy are awesome. They're moderators on the Members Only Lounge. You got some people that are great.
Yeah, the Red Rock Hot Club.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
For doing our music.
Yeah, thanks so much for letting us use your music all these years. And also Gordon Johnston plays some music on the show too.
Yeah. You're all just peaches, and we love you so much. And we love you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.